Hi guys, in this lesson we are going to make music while we read a book, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. In this lesson the music we'll be working on are dynamics. Remember, dynamics are how loud and quiet the music is. And also we have a rhythm to learn. Remember, rhythm is patterns of long and short notes. Also, as we go through the book, we will be adding pitch, our high and low sounds. So let's first look at our rhythm here. If we look first at our time signature, it's a 2/4 time signature, which means we have 2 beats in each measure. Each page is its own measure. See how it's separated by bar lines? So let's look at our first measure. What notes do we have? This is an 8th note pair. 8th notes, remember, get half a beat each, TT. And we have a quarter note. A quarter note gets 1 beat, ta. If we do the math for our rhythm here, 1/2 plus 1/2, put it together, we get 1. Quarter note gets 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. It works for our time signature. If you look through the song, we have more 8th note pairs, lots of quarter notes, and we end with a quarter rest, which is 1 beat of silence. Let's clap and say our rhythm together. T-T-ta, T-T-ta, ta, ta, T-T-ta, ta, sh. Very nice. Let's do that one more time. T-T-ta, T-T-ta, ta, ta, T-T-ta, ta, sh. Oops. Now let's try the rhythm with the words. So we match the syllables of each word to each note. Terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Shh. Awesome. And now let's look at the dynamic we're going to be seeing in our book. We have the word Australia, and for that Australia we'll have a crescendo at the beginning and a decrescendo. A crescendo means you gradually get louder. So you're going to start pianissimo and you're going to get louder and louder and louder. And then when you decrescendo, you start loud and you gradually get quieter. So when we do this, I want you to pat on your legs for your crescendo, decrescendo, just like this. Australia. All right. So whenever we have this rhythm and this word in the book, I want you to do it with me. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. When I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running, and I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Shh. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box, and Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said, if I don't get a seat by the window, I'm going to be car sick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Shh. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of a sailboat better than my picture of an invisible castle. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Shh. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend and that I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off and lands in Australia. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of Jelly Roll that had little coconut sprinkles on top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Shh. That was it. That's what it was, because after school, Mom took us all to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found a cavity only in me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I'll be in Australia. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting for my mom to go get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy, and then when I started crying because of the mud, Nick said I was a crybaby. And while I was punching Nick for saying crybaby, my mom came back with the car and scolded me for being muddy and fighting. I am having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Shh. No one even answered. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes, but then the shoe man said we're all sold out. They made me buy plain old white ones, but nobody can make me wear them. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with this copying machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as could be, except for my elbow. He also said don't fool around with his phone, but I think I might have just called Australia. My dad said please do not pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. There were lima beans for dinner. I hate lima beans. There was kissing on TV. I hate kissing. My bath was too hot. I got soap in my eyes. My marble went down the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could keep, and the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not with me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are just like that. Even in Australia.